My grandmother left everything to my mom, and the family is losing their minds. Hi Reddit, I'm writing this in a mix of shock and secondhand vindication. For context, I, 25M, was raised by a single mom after my parents divorced when I was 6. My dad was never really around after that. He moved to another state, remarried quickly, and had 2 more kids. We saw him maybe once a year. The one constant figure in my life, aside from my mom, was my grandmother, my dad's mom, whom I'll call Nana. She was old money wealthy. Not we own a Tesla rich. More like the family estate has its own name kind of rich. Think generational wealth, fancy galas, country clubs, old paintings in the hallway rich. But she was also down to earth and incredibly sharp, even into her 90s. Nana was a widow, and my grandfather left her everything, which she managed wisely and kept growing. Despite her resources, she lived relatively simply and gave generously to charities and local causes. But here's the kicker. Her kids, my dad and his 2 siblings, were horrible to her. Entitled, rude, dismissive. They treated her more like an ATM than a person. My dad barely called her. My aunt tried to manipulate her into signing over power of attorney. And my uncle actually sued her once for access to the trust fund. He lost the case. Meanwhile, the one person who treated Nana with consistent kindness and respect, my mom, her former daughter-in-law. Even after the divorce, my mom kept in touch. She'd take her shopping, bring her homemade soup when she was sick, call her every week just to chat. She never asked for anything, never made it transactional. Nana loved her deeply and once told me, "Your mother is more of a daughter to me than my own." Nana passed away 3 months ago at the age of 94. It was peaceful and expected, but still sad. The family showed up like vultures circling a carcass. Suddenly, people who hadn't seen her in years were talking about her legacy and what she would have wanted. The funeral was a performance of grief. And then the will was read. Everything, and I mean everything, was left to my mother. The estate, the trust fund, the house, the antique jewelry, the investments, even the vintage car collection. It was ironclad and recently updated, with clear language stating her reasons, in recognition of a lifetime of kindness, unwavering support, and genuine affection. You could hear a pin drop in that lawyer's office. My dad went pale. My aunt gasped audibly. My uncle accused the lawyer of forgery. He's now threatening to contest the will. Meanwhile, my mom just sat there in shock, tears in her eyes, saying she couldn't possibly accept, but the lawyer said she had no choice. Nana wanted this. She made sure it couldn't be undone. Now my family is accusing me of being part of some grand conspiracy. They say I must have influenced Nana, that I planted ideas in her head. I didn't. I never brought up money. I just kept her company and told her about my life. Apparently, that was more than any of her actual kids could be bothered to do. So, am I the villain here? Did my mom do something wrong by simply being a decent person? First update. Hey Reddit, I didn't expect this to blow up the way it did. I've read through most of your comments, thank you all. And I wanted to answer a few questions and give a small update. First off, my mom is still in disbelief. She met with the estate lawyer privately and asked if there was any way to redirect some of the inheritance. Maybe to charity or even a scholarship fund in Nana's name. The lawyer advised her to wait until the legal dust settles, because yes, my uncle did file to contest the will. He's alleging undue influence, even though the will was updated in front of 2 witnesses, notarized, and reviewed by Nana's personal attorney of 30 years. My dad and aunt haven't joined the lawsuit yet, but they've both been leaving cryptic comments on Facebook. Like, people always show their true colors when there's money involved. The irony is staggering. A few people asked about Nana's house. It's an old colonial estate in Connecticut that's been in the family since the early 1900s. My mom doesn't want to live there, we're in upstate New York. And she's considering turning it into a women's shelter or historical site, depending on what the zoning laws allow. One more thing. I found out from the lawyer that Nana had set up a small trust for me as well, just enough to pay off my student loans and maybe put a down payment on a house someday. It's not the bulk of the estate, but it's more than I ever expected. I cried when I found out. She didn't tell me because she didn't want me to treat her any differently. As for the rest of the family, they've gone radio silent, which honestly feels like a vacation. Final update. Big update, Reddit. The will contest has already been thrown out of court. The judge took one look at the documentation, the witnesses, the audio recordings. Yes, Nana recorded a video message for the lawyer explaining her decisions, and dismissed the challenge with prejudice. That means they can't try again. The lawyer told us it was one of the most airtight wills he's ever seen. And that wasn't even the biggest twist. Apparently, Nana anticipated the backlash. She left behind a separate letter for each of her children, my dad, aunt, and uncle, explaining exactly why they were left out. The letters were scathing but honest. She recounted specific incidents. My dad forgetting her birthday 3 years in a row, my aunt screaming at her over a declined check, my uncle demanding she cover his third divorce settlement. The letters ended with the same line. "You showed me who you are. I finally believed you." I don't know what impact those letters had, but my dad sent me a long email last night. No apology. But he did say he needed time to reflect. I haven't responded yet. As for my mom, she's decided to honor Nana in the most fitting way possible. She's setting up a charitable foundation in Nana's name focused on elder care and protection from financial abuse. She says it's what Nana would have wanted, her wealth doing something meaningful. Not just padding the lives of people who treated her like a burden. I've been helping with the paperwork. It feels good. It feels right. So yeah, karma's real, y'all. And sometimes, it's delivered with a notary stamp and a monogrammed envelope. Thanks for all the love. I'll update again if anything wild happens, but for now, I think we're finally at peace.